Hiya, and welcome to LSB Feasters radio channel, where we keep great radio from the past alive. Today, we're going to Dallas and 1190 KLIF. Now, if you know anything about the history of Top 40, you know the name Gordon McClendon. McClendon was the owner of KLIF and is considered the man who perfected Top 40 radio back in the 1950s. In 1954, when network radio was fading from dominance because of TV, McClendon introduced the Top 40 format on KLIF. And because he did, his radio station enjoyed dominance. At one point, KLIF had more than half the people listening to the radio in Dallas listening to KLIF. KLIF had a tight playlist. They had exciting promotions. They had contests that were bigger than life and jocks who were legendary. We're talking names like Jimmy Rabbit, Paxton Mills, Michael O'Shea, Dick Heatherton, Cousin Lenny, Chuck Murphy, Johnny Dark, Hal Martin. I could just go on and on. One of the names featured is the voice heard on this air check, George Singer. Now, I have to admit, being totally honest, I know very little about George Singer. I do know he spent a few years on KLIF back in the mid to late 50s. But beyond that, I don't know where he went after KLIF, what stations he worked for. If you know more about him, please let me know down in the comments below. Thanks. Hey, if you like the Air Check, feel free to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel too. And by the way, if you happen to have any old Air Checks or tapes just hanging around your house, we would love to post them here and preserve your little piece of memory. Again, leave me something in the comments below. All right, if you are ready, let's go back to November 28th, 1956 with this tape given to me by my friend Stephen Green. It's George Singer on 1190 KLIF.
Boy, that's hot. Well, what I like to usually do is come on in the back door along about 12:05 and just park myself here at the table with you and have a bite of lunch. Well, I'm bringing a couple of records along. We'll have time. Holiday coming up tomorrow. And holidays call for eggnog. There's no eggnog quite like Cabell's Southern Recipe eggnog mixture. In this treasured old plantation recipe, Cabell's uses nothing but the finest of country fresh eggs, plenty of them, pure cane sugar, and then blended with spices and nothing but pure whipping cream. That's right, whipping cream. There's no thin, watery look to Cabell's eggnog mixture. In fact, a few turns with a beater, and you've got eggnog in any consistency you like. And by the way, it'll be in all Cabell Minute Markets. Ready for Thanksgiving, and as fresh as it's possible to make. Put it on your list right away, along with a Cabell Purple Ribbon Turkey, and one of those famous fruitcakes Cabell's brings down from the McKinney area, where they're made by the church ladies each year. Doesn't Cabell's sound like the one-stop headquarters for your Thanksgiving meal? They'll be open all day Thanksgiving, too. Remember now, that's your neighborhood Cabell Minute Market. The temperature has just reached 53 degrees in the heart of Cliffland. And this afternoon, when you go by your nearest Cabell Minute Market, get your rear window sticker for your car. You hear me? Prize money now totals $170. But remember, the KLIF rear window sticker can be the only contest sticker of its kind on your car. And it must be a sticker with a serial number. Now, stay tuned. Next license number is going to be called sometime within the next hour.
Presenting Caloric Confidential.
From our files, the true inside story of a renowned redhead, a story hitherto unrevealed.
Okay, Red, about this wolf you met.
It's been over-dramatized. He thought I whistled at him. Actually, what he heard was a Caloric ad on the radio. They were advertising Caloric thermoset.
What about Grandma?
She wasn't wearing a nightcap. She was having one. She invited him in. I was cooking some groceries on our Caloric gas range, and he stayed for supper. Said he'd like to own a Caloric. Didn't want to buy one, though. Just wanted to marry me so he could enjoy meals fixed on my Caloric.
Didn't he devour Grandma?
No. He wanted to get rid of her, though.
You mean?
He sent her to the movies. We sat around the rest of the night talking over the features of a Caloric gas range.
Why don't you talk over the features of Caloric with your nearest dealer? Confidentially, there's nothing like a Caloric with thermoset control.
You'll be sure and enter Caloric's Happy Holiday Contest this very day. 4 big prizes free every 3 weeks. First prize, a 1957 Buick. Second prize, a wonderful vacation for 2 at romantic Sanssouci Hotel in Jamaica. Third prize, a modern kitchen complete with Caloric built-in gas range cabinets and kitchen sink. And the fourth prize is a modern caloric gas range of your choice, equipped with the famous thermoset top burners. Visit Ewing Kitchen Designers in Dallas or Paget Furniture Company in Louisville today and pick up your entry blank. Our time, 22 past 12, 12:22 in the afternoon. This one by Ernestine Allen by name. Don't Anybody Move.
Don't nobody move, don't nobody leave this room. Don't nobody move, don't nobody leave this room. I closed my eyes while we were kissing. I opened them again and my heart was a missing. Don't nobody move, don't nobody leave this room. I'm naming no names, but looking right in your eyes. You better come clean, don't give me no alibi. Somebody here thinks he's a smarty until I get the truth from the guilty party. Don't move, don't nobody leave this room. I kept my heart under lock and key. No one could steal it from me. I kissed you once, ooh, how it throbbed. The lights went out and I was robbed. Don't nobody move, don't nobody leave these arms. That look on your face is filling me with alarm. Now don't think that I'm easy picking. If you try to run, I'm gonna raise the dickens until you can prove it's really love in blue. Don't nobody move, don't nobody leave this room. Don't nobody move, don't nobody leave this room.
Don't nobody move. Don't nobody leave the room. You might miss something on the George Singer Show. 25 minutes past 12, 12:25 in the afternoon.
This is the old Scotchman, Gordon MacLendon. You might be interested in this. After frightening the wits out of America with his Man from Mars broadcast, Orson Welles came to Hollywood in 1937. From the moment he arrived, he made some powerful enemies, among them Luella Parsons. Then later, you can recall, another bitter enemy, William Randolph Hearst. Hearst hated Welles because Orson, in his first picture, had actually tread upon the angels by doing Hearst's life story. He called it Citizen Kane. The film was too well done. It was a murderous trick to perpetrate on a great newspaper giant. Now, for the first time in 16 years, a Dallas theater, the Casa Linda, has been able to secure a print of Wells's great picture, Citizen Kane, generally thought to be one of history's 5 greatest motion pictures. Until now, Citizen Kane has been locked in Hollywood's deepest vaults. Citizen Kane begins exclusively at the Casa Linda Theater next Sunday for 4 days only.
They are a 4-day opportunity for you to see one of the incomparable moments in entertainment. Citizen Kane. It's now 26 minutes past 12, 12:26 in the afternoon. 52.5 degrees in downtown Dallas. Slipped a half a degree on us. Fair today, turning cooler this afternoon. Fair and colder tonight and tomorrow. If you're one of those who have recently started using BC headache powders or BC headache tablets, maybe you too were amazed to discover that BC works so fast and that the relief offered is so complete. Thousands and thousands of people in all parts of the nation have known this for a long, long time. This quick-acting effectiveness is one of the big reasons why BC is the fastest-selling headache powder in America. Why BC headache tablets are increasing in popularity day by day. The very next time you have a headache, or when the pains of neuralgia are bothering you, find out for yourself what there is about BC that people like so much. Once you do, you'll readily understand why BC is so popular. You'll find BC headache powders and BC headache tablets for sale everywhere and in many sizes from 10 cents up, including that money-saving family-size bottle of 50 and one other one of 100 tablets. When you use BC, you're going to agree with others who say there isn't anything better or faster for headache relief. Absolutely nothing better or faster than BC for headache relief. Cindy, oh Cindy, that one by Eddie Fisher. It's just about that time again. We're going to take a look-see and listen to the weather on the George Singer Show. That'll be Dave Mulstein's turn at the microphone. I want to tell you a bit of a reminder about safety. You know, jaywalking is a quicker way to death, warns the Texas Safety Association. Obey traffic regulations when walking, the same as when driving. When next we burst forth with music in the George Singer Show, you're going to hear Thing by Les Brown's band of renown, Joanne Greer, and the best years of my life. Now, it's weather time on KLIF in Dallas. Color radio in Big D, a perfect picture without snow.
With electronic speed, KLIF reports headlines and weather on the half hour.
Cliff News brings you half-hourly weather and news headlines. This edition presented by Frozen Right. Western anxiety over Jordan and Syria continues to increase. British Foreign Minister hints at British determination to maintain troops in Suez Canal Zone. UN Secretary renews pressure for admittance of UN observers to Hungary. Americans score new triumphs at Olympics. A look at the weather after this message from Frozen Right.
Love those Frozen Right rolls.
How I Saved the Day by Maggie Ann Thomas, age 7.5. Mommy had gone to visit my grandma, and Daddy was cooking supper. When I asked him for some of those good Frozen Right rolls like Mommy always makes, he said he didn't know how to make them. So I simply took a package of Frozen Right rolls that Mommy had put out to rise, and soon we put them in the oven, and a few minutes later, we had good-tasting rolls like Mommy always makes. And that's how I saved the day.
Yes, and you can save the day, too, and make every meal so much better when you treat your family to Parker House and Cloverleaf rolls, all prepared and ready to bake by Frozen Right, of course. Now at your closest frozen food counter in the reusable polyethylene plastic bag. You'll also want to try Frozen Right's extra delicious all-butter Danish coffee cakes.
Love those Frozen Right rolls.
The weather outlook for Dallas, Fort Worth, and vicinity, partly cloudy and turning colder this afternoon, fair and colder tonight and tomorrow. Highest this afternoon in the upper 50s, lowest tonight near freezing, and highest tomorrow around 50. Northerly winds 15 to 25 miles per hour. The present temperature, as recorded at Love Field, 52 degrees, relative humidity 41%. The wind north 10 miles per hour, barometric pressure 30.10 steady. This extra edition of the news will be presented on the half hour by KLIF as long as the news is urgent. This edition courtesy of Frozen Right.
The best years of my life.
First news first.
And now Wilson Motors, your new car drive-in supermarket, takes you to one of the KLIF mobile news units for a special on-the-spot news story.
Ted here for Wilson Motors and KLIF Mobile News Unit number 3. We reported a plane crash northwest of Pilot Point, 3.5 miles, a few moments ago. We talked to Perrin Field Air Force Base, where the F-86D Interceptor was based, found that the pilot parachuted out and landed safely. The pilot landed safely, but his plane was destroyed. The pilot is First Lieutenant John A. Martin of Wherry Housing in Sherman. The plane was based at Perrin Air Force Base and crashed within the hour at about 3.5 miles northwest of Pilot Point. That's the report. Bill Burkett for Wilson Motors and KLIF Mobile News Unit number 3, returning you to the studios.
This has been a special on-the-spot report of a major news story from one of the KLIF mobile news units, brought to you by Wilson Motors, now with 2 auto supermarkets located at Ross and Ackerd and Ross at Root.
It's a super-duper new car supermarket. It's Wilson Motors' new car supermarket.
Hello.
Jack, this is Bob. Ready to go hunting?
Well, I've been hunting all day.
Why, you so-and-so. I thought we were going hunting tomorrow.
Oh, I'm kidding. I've been hunting all day for a bargain in a car.
Oh, well, find anything?
No, and I'm bushed. I looked all day.
Did you try Wilson Motors Auto Supermarket?
No.
Well, you fathead, you could have saved all kinds of time and money. They've got everything from a Model A to a Cadillac.
Bob's right. Shop the modern auto supermarket way at one of Wilson Motors Auto Supermarkets. See all the new cars sitting side by side. For greater selection, more convenient buying with greater savings, for bank rate financing with monthly payments best suited for you. Shop Wilson Motors Auto Supermarkets. Select reconditioned cars at 1520 Ross and 2528 Ross, with new car showrooms at 1616 Ross and Ackerd. Wilson Motors open from 8:30 a.m. till the last customer leaves.
Wilson Motors, they've got everything. And tell them Maxwell sent you.
Alrighty, do that. This is George Singer's show you're listening to. Joanne Greer opening it up with The Best Years of My Life, followed by a very special report from Bill Burkett in KLIF Mobile News Unit number 3, and brings our time here to 22 minutes before 1 o'clock. If it's entertainment you're looking for, Mr. Rock and Roll Elvis Presley makes his sensational movie debut in the CinemaScope attraction Love Me Tender, opening Thursday, Thanksgiving Day at Interstate's downtown Palace Theater. You'll love Presley and the story he was born to play. See Elvis Presley in Love Me Tender at the Palace Theater in Dallas. Doors open at 9 Thursday morning. And there'll be a free autographed photo of Elvis for everybody at this first show. Remember, it's Elvis Presley in Love Me Tender starting Thursday at the Palace in Dallas. Here's Mitch Miller and something from Little Abner, Jubilation Tea Corn Pone.
The Yankees and annihilation was near. Who was there to lead the charge that took the state to the rear? Why, it was Jubilation Tea Corn Pone. Oh, toot your own corn pone. Jubilation Tea Corn Pone, a man who knew no fear. Almost had him, but the issue still was in doubt. Who suggested the retreat that turned it into a rout? Why, it was Jubilation Tea Corn Pone. Old tattered and torn pone. Jubilation Tea Corn Pone. He kept us hiding out. With our ammunition gone and faced with utter defeat, who was it that burned the crops and left us nothing to eat? Why, it was Jubilation Tea Corn Pone. Old September morn pone. Jubilation Tea Corn Pone. The pantaloon off his seat. Why, it was Jubilation Tea Corn Pone. Oh, toot your own corn pone. Jubilation Tea
Jubilation Tea Corn Poem. That one from Little Abner, as we said. Mitch Miller, old bewhiskered kid himself. And that brings our time now to 19 minutes before 1 o'clock. This date of the 28th of November of 1956 is important insofar as this is the birth date, commemorating the birth date in the year 1829 of Anton Rubinstein. The birth date in 1829 of Anton Rubinstein. So, there you are. Now, maybe you knew something that I didn't know before.
Hey, we got a commercial coming on here. Where's the announcer?
Well, look, would you? I knew the boss said for them to know what they're talking about, but that's overdoing it.
How about that? Got a hot plate and cooking some of those new all-beef franks the Chuck Wagon folks are putting out? Look at him drool.
No, well, guess we'll have to skip Rubin's commercial today. Seems a shame, though. By the way, those Chuck Wagon all-beef franks sure beat the old-fashioned kind. We had some last night.
That's nothing. I have them for breakfast. Holy cow, we left the switch open. Wonder how many folks heard us.
Well, I'll just bet a goodly number did, and they're going to heed your advice. It's 18 minutes before 1. You all primed on this Cliff treasure hunt coming up on December 1st? You didn't hear about it before? Well, for shame on you, little one. Now, I just want your pretty shell-like ears to hear all the details of this thing, because it's absolutely the most fabulous thing you've ever heard on Cliff. The $50,000 check we have here is going to be hidden